I believe in goals, setting goals, and this is the beginning of a new quarter, and so I have some time where I'm starting to reflect. Okay, how did I do the past quarter? I'm going into the last quarter. What do I want to do for the next 90 days? What's my focus for the next 90 days? I have some yearly goals. How am I doing with those? And to be honest, I have a couple that I gotta shift. Some are moving along really well, and they're further than I thought. Like, for example, leading the church through goal setting. So we are that has been happening this year, and we're moving along in that. I wish we were further, but that's okay. I wanted to establish 3 discipleship groups that we're meeting on a regular basis, and one of the neat things that's developed out of that is, I started a Tuesday one, which I've now passed over. It's kind of morphed into going to be this women's kind of just for women on Tuesday night, and I would say it's sort of struggling, I think, a little bit, to be honest. But we'll see where that goes. I'm coaching now from the outside. We have someone leading, so that's actually a positive because I'm not there, but I actually do believe it's got potential, and we just need time to let it kind of grow. I have a Thursday morning one. That one's really kind of weird, I feel like, because people come and go in that one, and which is a bit of the culture. I'm really wrestling with the consistency of people. Even on our large gathering on Sunday, we definitely have a core, but then like we got all kinds of people coming in and coming out, and I'm trying to, how do we walk alongside and help connect them? And do they want to is a question I kind of wrestle with a little bit. But how do we move people in? I'm still wrestling through that. But that's that Thursday group. We went through the book of Mark, and then some people left, which is normal. I've learned just to let it go. But some have stayed, and so I'm just not sure where it's going. And it's really become this test group for me to try some stuff. And so there's things I'm like, okay, I would do that differently. So what's happened? So part of that working out of doing things differently is slowly changing that group to move that way. But I've also I started a Saturday men's group, and so we're every other Saturday, so only twice a month. I felt every week would be too much. We're meeting 7:30 to 8:30, which means probably 9 if they chat for a while. But I'm going to be pretty like tight on time with it and go. The guys there, all the 3 that I got, I invited 4. 3 of those I would say would be leaders. The other guy, I'm still getting to know, so I'm just not sure where he's at. But he actually didn't even show up, so I got to follow up with this week with him. But and try to get him out next week. But that group has the potential to, like, those guys will get guys. And so one of the goals of developing men's ministry and the 3 discipleship groups, those are kind of 2 separate goals I had this week, is we're moving along in that way. So this year I got 4 guys who are interested in men's ministry and developing programs. We've talked about having large events that are constantly pushing people into smaller stuff. I just spilled my coffee. All right, I think I'm back. Man, spilled my coffee. Never good. That's what I get doing. I get my hands going around. But so as I get organized, what was I talking about? Talking about the men's ministry. So we got a team together. They're putting on some groups. We got 15 guys going to. It's an organization called Impactus. They're former Promise Keepers. I don't know if that means anything to you, but anyways, they've kind of reshaped themselves here in Canada, anyways, and are reorganizing and updating some philosophies, I think, on how to do ministry. And I agree very much, moving away from pushing the big gatherings to smaller gatherings. So they have. We still have a large gathering that we're going to, but again, my hope is we got these 15 guys we're traveling down with, and we'll be able to unite around how do we move them into smaller groups. So that's something new that's happening. I'm excited to see it coming together and be able to move those men into smaller groups. And we started already listing off guys that we can invite to the group, and I shared a few with the men on Saturday of, hey, here's guys I did reach out to. I'd love for you to reach out to them and see if we can get them out. And once we get to this number, even if we meet the same day, if they all do come on Tuesday, or when are we doing that? Saturday, we'll separate them out around the building we're in, so that we actually have smaller groups. Like, I really think like that 4 to 5 is a nice size, because you can't hide. Now that freaks some people out, I've realized, but it's it allows for healthy conversation and actual engagement that takes place. So that's the men's group. Sunday, yeah, I started talking a little bit about Sundays already. Just we got lots of movement of people coming in and out, and not sure how to move people. A lot of new people coming in. I literally had this week. So we've been doing these prayer walks, and I think there's connections. We've been doing prayer weeks and prayer walks earlier this year, and four 1 week prayer weeks. We've done 2 official prayer walks, and I've done some little ones on my side just as I've gone and prayed for the community. Plus, I have my own prayer times, and I'm trying to get Wednesday, first Wednesday of every month, as an extra prayer day. And so I'll talk about that later. But the street in which we walked on a number of times, there's a young man that's come from that, and just walked in. And I'm meeting now with him. There's a larger story there. Maybe I'll share it some other time. But I'm going to meet with him let's meet for a month, and helps me get to know where he is. And he, like, on Sunday, he was already like, hey, okay, I got this passage that I just read, and I need to, I asked someone else already about it, but I want to talk, and they helped me understand it, and I think it's good, but I want to talk with you about it. And what I've said with him is, I can walk us through some scripture, and I'm just going to pick a gospel, and if he doesn't bring anything, I'll walk us through that. But I also said, but you write your questions down, because he's full of questions. You write your questions down, and if you're reading something, we can talk about that. I'll let you you can share what you want to talk about that day. So we are going we're going to meet, and he's already got a passage this week. He's let me know on Sunday, and that's part of discipleship. Eventually, I hope to get him connected to a group. What I would love to see, and I wonder if one of the guys who are kind of like a person of peace that can open up doors to other people, right? And who's his circle of influence, and maybe that's what the Lord has. I don't know, but those are questions I start to ask, because what I know is we've been praying for that neighborhood, that God would open doors, and this man walked in my house, or in our house here at the church, and so we're gonna walk with that, and so that's something that's developing. I think I already mentioned the goals that we're doing as a church. We're trying to put that strategic. Sorry, this is from my wiping up my coffee. We're trying to put that strategic plan together, and I'd love to know your experience around strategic planning. My issue is I'm trying to bring us onto the same table, right? So when I first came, ministries were doing different things. People had their own ideas, and what I want is some goals to guide us, a bit of a plan to guide us over the next number of years, so that as some leadership changes on our governing board, it's not like, what are we going to do? Oh wait, we have a plan, and we're walking the plan, and you can adjust it as you go. I can't sit here right now in front of us and say, like, ooh, look at me, we've made this, and we got generational discipleship. That's what I love. That's what I'm praying for. I'm just starting, and there's a shift that I do sense happening in our congregation. The fact that people are asking for some of that stuff, I think, is huge. But it's just, how do we disciple? How do we walk with people, and giving them the tools? And I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Again, if you got some wisdom here, I'd love to connect and hear what's working in your area. This is just my journey, and I said I would speak about my journey as I go. So I think